What is going on, guys? I am Jaye. This is going to be in response to Tiffany Haddish. She is trending on Twitter for all the wrong reasons. Now, I believe I made a video a while back about her being booed off stage when she did a comedy set. This was a year or so ago. And, there were people who defended her, and, she said that she wasn't going to stop, seeking to do stand up. And she decided to be a part of a NBA roast. I think they were roasting various people on the NBA team, like Shaq and like Ernie Johnson, Charles Barkley. I know those guys, right? And you had other comedians there. You had Jeff Ross, you had JB Smooth, Gary Payton. He's an athlete, he's not really stand up. And you had Lily Singh there for whatever reason. And she is being panned as being the worst of the group. Now, I've been looking at these clips, man. But she is awful, man. I think she proved to everybody that she's awful. And if you don't believe me, just go to Twitter and look at how people are roasting her and her ability to not be able to tell jokes and to be able to roast. She's not naturally funny. She is not a naturally funny woman. Or comedian. She's just not, because I've seen naturally funny people. I'm pretty sure y'all have as well. And she just isn't that, what's interesting also is that Cat Williams criticized her and her not being very funny as far as comedians concerned. And a lot of people got upset with him. He had to go make amends with her. And now people see what Cat Williams see. He's a guy who's out there. He's traveling. He does shows. He's actually naturally funny. So he would know a funny comedian when he's around him, and he knows that Tiffany Haddish just isn't that. She needs work done, or she needs to just focus on making movies or TV shows, because this is not her lane. I mean, just look at some of the responses that I'm seeing on social media. It tells you everything you need to know about Tiffany Haddish and her ability to be able to be funny and to be able to be a comedian. It's very interesting too. I know it's interesting every 5 seconds, but that's just something I do anyway. When she's been criticized for her not being funny and not being a very good comedian, the people who criticize her, people don't like that. They go at those people. But for people who are fans of comedy, who attend comedy shows or watch comedy specials, we know what's funny and we know what isn't. And there are a lot of people who are just trashing her, man. And listen, she was very cringy. I'm not even gonna mince words. She was very cringy. Very cringy. And I have to give it to Shaq and those guys for at least, and Charles, for at least laughing, because they were the only ones laughing. At one point, I thought I heard boos in the comment section. Not comment section, excuse me. The comment section in the audience. I thought I heard some boos. And it's because, she just, nobody sees her as funny. Nobody sees her as funny, but she decided that it was a good time to hop on stage and do this NBA roast, because she's pushed by the media. Let's just be real. She is pushed by the mainstream media as the top tier black female comedian actress, and she's protected a lot. That's why even though there's a lot of people who are panning her on social media, they will still parade her out there as if she's one of the funniest female comedians out there, and she isn't. She isn't naturally funny. She is just getting destroyed on social media. I mean, some of these memes and some of these tweets are just hilarious. Now, I know that her fans are going to probably see videos like this and they're going to claim that, we're hating on her They might even have people call us misogynists if men. But I know there are women on social media clowning her too. I think this whole situation is funny because she's not funny. I think people are laughing at the tweets about her instead of her actual jokes at this NBA roast. Now, whenever you have comedy, and comedy is very different now than it was years ago, it's very tamed, but I'm pretty sure when these guys go on the road, they say a lot of crazy things. We know this, But I just go back to when Cat Williams was critical of her comedic ability and people demanded that he apologize. You had Kevin Hart come to the defense and pull rank on Cat Williams for daring to criticize Tiffany Haddish. Like I said, Tiffany Haddish is very protected out there in the media. They protect her. You can't criticize her, even though she is considered by a lot of people to not be very funny. So what you're going to see is a lot of people go back to Cat Williams, and it might be the same people who criticized them and say, you know what, you're right. The world, everybody got to see just exactly what you have seen for quite some time, is that she is not very funny. She's not. She is annoying, and that's a word I saw a lot. I saw a lot of people saying how annoying she is. They don't believe she's very funny. Everybody on that stage, all the other comedians for the most part, were funnier than she was. But again, they laughed at her jokes because they felt like they had to. And it looked weird because the audience didn't really laugh that much. But the people on stage did, because they're all part of the same social circles for the most part. But this was not good. Every time we hear of Tiffany Haddish doing stand-up, it's always awful. Or her getting up and doing this in this particular situation was not very good, Maybe if she has somebody writing her material, maybe it would come out differently. But I mean, if you're not authentic in what you're doing and you don't naturally have the energy and the ability to read the room and understand what's going on as a comedian, you're going to be lost out here. And Tiffany Haddish, at that point in the vehicle about herself, she looked like she was lost, and she was going to be overly, she ready, y'all know how she get when she kind of gets stuck, try to act like the drunk female who's trying to make everyone laugh. That's how it came off. She came off as that female that that when y'all go out, she the main one getting liquored up, saying crazy things, being completely annoying, being overly flirtatious with men who aren't really into her like that. That's how Tiffany Haddish comes across in this particular video clips that I've seen, and in the posts where people are putting up, and they're going off on her. They're going off on her. And it was very cringy, and it was very awkward. It's awkward because the people on stage felt like they had to laugh at her jokes even though they weren't funny. But they had to say, you know what, man, we got to help her out. And it's sad when, the people on stage got to help you out. When the people on stage got to help you out, you are done. Okay? And that's what it looked like. And that's why she's trending on Twitter now, because she did awful. The jokes weren't landing. It was very cringy. It was a cringe fest. And the people in the crowd are not fans like that. They were probably fans of all the other comedians, but not her, because all the other comedians were funny. She wasn't. And to me, for the people that's going to defend her no matter what, just understand when somebody just have an off night. Now, she's had a couple of them, but this was another off night. And I think even the people who defend her and they want to be fans of what she's doing, y'all got to be honest with her. You can't lie to her and tell her that that was a great performance just because the people on stage laugh. I mean, they're laughing out of awkwardness. They're not laughing because they genuinely enjoyed that. They probably was like, holy mother of Christ, this is not funny, but we gotta learn to keep it, somebody gotta laugh. The audience wasn't really laughing. I think they kind of laughed at first, but then it kind of it went downhill and downhill and downhill. And again, people are going to claim I'm hating on her. I'm bashing her because I'm saying what everybody else is saying. All you have to do is go look at the Twitter thread of Tiffany Haddish tweets, and it will tell you everything you know. All those people hating on her, they're watching what you're watching. They're looking at the fact that this is the person that's being pushed as the top, especially black female comedian. Just not funny, coming off as corny. It's coming off as lame. Look at the memes, look at the GIFs, And I feel like, for the most part, Cat Williams deserves an apology from some of y'all, man. Or at least, you know what, you were right. She's not funny. And she's had time to prepare for this, even though it's just a short, roasting. But you have time to prepare for this, and you still did not do well. I think that she's probably more comfortable just doing acting than doing stand-up. To me, I think she's more comfortable doing that. But I think she, wants to dabble in being a comedian because she doesn't want to come off as being a failure. But this was just not a good look for her.